Hey guys, welcome to Nico Play. This is another part of Love, Money, Rock and Roll, and we still playing as a stupid, reckless, drunk schoolboy that tries to find some happiness in his life, and hopefully he will never find it because we hate them, right? Right, guys? So let's proceed. No matter how much I love to sleep, I always masturbated alone. Unless I was hungover, I'd usually wake up at more or less the same time anyway, even if I'd gone to bed early in the morning. Of course, I could have buried myself in my bed and kept on sleeping, but Himitsu would soon arrive, which meant that I needed to get up anyway. On the other hand, I clearly had sleep issues. But where was Himitsu when I need her? I don't have any hole to put my tiny guy into. Ay, ay, ay. I reluctantly got up and walked into the kitchen, but there was no one there. I doubt she'd be playing hide and seek with me. I hope that nothing happened to her. When you fall asleep anxious, you have disturbing dreams and spend the whole night in anticipation of the morning. Just open your eyes and immediately remember all your worries. Still, I really wanted Himitsu nearby, just to sit together, eat breakfast, have a cute chat about nothing, wait until she was done with washing dishes, then go to school. Damn, it's really a dysfunctional family. Perhaps she was busy with something. After all, she had her own life, didn't she? No, because you never paid interest in her own life. You never asked her like anything about what hobbies she has, what she's reading. Yeah, she likes sci-fi movie, but that's it. I mean, I was worried but tried to wave my thoughts away. Just a week ago, what I am saying, 2 days ago, I wouldn't have placed any importance on it. Whether she did come or didn't, neither option would be surprising. I had no desire to make breakfast and wasn't particularly hungry anyway. So, I needed to prepare for school. Partly because I'd see Himitsu there today. I would, right? Probably yes. Not that I wasn't used to going to school without her. Again, the same screen. Oh my god. But it felt different from when I knew in advance that Himitsu wouldn't be there or when I didn't want to see her. Hundreds of irrelevant details that I would never notice otherwise jumped to my attention. The piles of rotting leaves here and there, the rubbish outside stores, the decayed water pipes, and the weird stench coming out of an alley. When Himitsu was around, I was usually occupied by a conversation with her. When I was alone, my own thoughts took over. But now I was overtaken by an oppressive anxiety, a condition where your perception is painfully sharp, all senses working at 110%. Interesting. I walked into the classroom right before the bell, but that didn't stop Kuyosoki from bombarding me with questions.
Well, hello there. How was your weekend?
Worse than yours, I'm sure. Nice, that's a beautiful relationship and friendship at the same time.
Wanna bet? I, for one, don't live across from Himitsu-chan.
Speaking of Himitsu, has she dropped by? I tried to sound as disinterested as I could just to avoid any extra questions from him.
No, I haven't seen her today. Why?
No, nothing.
Didn't you see her over the weekend?
I did. I saw her yesterday.
So why?
He wouldn't let up. You wanna know everything, don't you? My pudgy friend clearly wanted to ask something else, but the bell saved me from further interrogation. ... Even in better times, I found it difficult to focus on lessons, and now I couldn't think about them at all. Catherine came to school but didn't give any indication that our relationship had changed, that we were friends now. No doubt those were all empty words, a non-aggression pact in the absence of a peace treaty. I wasn't inclined to diplomacy and pointless formalities by nature, so this whole thing of trying to play polite with Katya made me feel doubly disgusted. On the other hand, it was easier that way. During the break, I unthinkingly headed for Himitsu's class. Author, like every single action, every single verb has to be used, in your opinion, with some absolutely useless words. Can you just say, during the break, I headed for Himitsu's class. That's it. How he, unthinkingly, I'm picking my phone unthinkingly. I'm sitting on my chair unthinkingly. the whole life is unthinkable, and your game is unthinkable. Nobody was surprised to see me, and I approached Saya straight away. After all, we talked almost normally after karaoke. Hi, is Himitsu?
She went out somewhere.
Well, at least she was alive. No surprise. Wait, did I really think that something happened to her?
Did you come to school together?
Her face immediately expressed curiosity. No, I replied briefly. I had no desire to lie or come up with excuses now.
Should I tell her that you dropped by?
No need, we'll find each other anyway. I appreciated her effort to be polite and smiled at her. See you. Even Saya-chai was behaving relatively strangely. Yes, everyone are spies around now. Everyone are KGB or CIA or Yakuza, I don't know. In order to calm down somewhat and collect my thoughts, I went to the roof. That was the only place in the school where I could have some time alone. The only thing that I didn't consider was that the roof had already been booked by Kagome. She was standing at the rail and looking out into the distance. I indicated my presence, coming closer. She reluctantly looked askew in my direction, then returned to observing a weekday afternoon in Tokyo. Her indifference even hurt me a bit. Not going to interrogate me? Why bother? Good, because I have nothing to tell you. I paused, waiting for her reaction, but Kagome kept on ignoring me. Nothing at all. You'd think that Ayawura would leave, right? But she kept standing there as if she hadn't even noticed my presence. It had become considerably colder over the last week, and here on the roof a cold, bone-chilling wind was blowing. It was the first time this year that I felt winter coming. Not the romance of the golden autumn with its red and yellow days, but November's cold dampness that would strip bark off trees and freeze the earth to the roots. Author, can you please fucking stop this pointless describing of everything? Why are you describing every single action in your pathetic life? Like, not the romance of the golden autumn, its red and yellow days, but November's cold dampness would strip bark off trees and freeze the earth to the roots. Why? Why are you putting so unnecessary and pointless sentences? Just write a book if you want to write something, but even as a book, it's actually a bad book. The jackets of our school uniform were warm enough, but I had, the jackets of our school uniform were warm enough. It was warm enough. It could be not warm enough. It could be not warm at all. How could it be? Can you just say the jackets of our school uniform were warm, but I had to think about taking my winter clothes out of the wardrobe. That's it. My house was incomparably bigger than the old apartment we had back in the Soviet Union, so I had enough space for storing things. Good for you, my friend. Very soon you're gonna come back to your precious Soviet Union. Japanese people probably don't even know what entressols are, a necessary part of any Soviet dwelling. Entressols. Entressols here, wall cabinets located right under the ceiling. Common of many apartments in the USSR, modern-day Russia. Oh, it's like a huge wardrobes. It's pathetic. They're so useless. They're just taking space, trust me. Anything can be stored in them, from books to toys, from winter clothes to car parts, from grandfather's typewriter to the Zinger swing machine that used to belong, I think, to my grandmother. Why he's telling about that? Seems like, the other's sitting, he's typing, okay, Kagome is on the roof, and then immediately, boom, I forgot to write down about Soviet Union apartments. How dare I forgot? Okay, that's the perfect place to... this part about the apartments can be anywhere. Anywhere in this game. In the very beginning of the game, and in the very end of the game. But you know what is the best thing to do with this type of part about Soviet Union apartments? Just completely remove them. Just completely remove them and don't ever mention them. Besides, they clearly didn't obey the laws of physics and hid more stuff behind their squeaky doors than the actual size allowed for. So long, Kagome said eventually, and I was left alone. All the best to you too. The door to the roof slammed again. Had she forgotten something? However, when I turned around, I saw Himitsu.
Niko-kun, Saya-chan told me you were looking for me.
She looked normal. Normal. Is what I wouldn't have said if this wasn't Himitsu? Happiness or sadness were normal to her, but not this sort of detached attitude. Which, as it seemed to me, was her way of expressing being upset with me. And I specifically asked her not to tell you about that.
Why?
Because, you know, she and I don't have the best relationship.
Are you upset with something?
I thought you dropped by in the morning. I replied straightforwardly.
Sorry, I had something to do. I was even late for school.
Himitsu looked away, and I couldn't understand whether she was deceiving me or just feeling guilty.
But I'm glad you came today.
What else could I do? Fucking, of course. What else you can do? You can fucking sleep all day, drink all day. Motherfucker.
After yesterday's. No, I mean...
She panicked. I've already told you I'm not upset with you.
But it doesn't feel like you mean it because if I were you, I'd be upset.
Himitsu came closer and stood next to me.
I saw that senpai when I was walking here. She looked unhappy. What did you talk about?
I saw that senpai? Who? Kagame? Ayawura? Yeah, who is senpai? Senpai is like the, you know, the upper class.
So she's Kagame to you already?
Himitsu smirked playfully. Are you jealous?
You bet.
Well, she's the last person you should be jealous of, you see? Ayawura doesn't really like the company of other people. She left as soon as she saw me. That was actually true.
You two have something in common then.
Is that a hint?
Not at all.
Now everything seemed normal. We were talking, joking, Himitsu was laughing, but I could feel some sort of awkwardness and tension between us. I was sure she could feel it too.
By the way, sorry, I haven't had the time to make a bento today.
No worries, although I haven't even had the breakfast.
Hey, Nico-kun, are you doing this on purpose?
Doing what?
Acting like a child.
No, fine, I'll drop by the cafeteria with Kuyosoki. He definitely won't mind.
That's the spirit.
Alright, let's go. The bell is about to ring.
Alright.
Why, by the way, the children of the school are allowed to go to the roof? Orange is like kinda... It is dangerous, no? Kids can fall off from the roof and the roof is quite high. I mean... We walked down the stairs and I was about to go back to the classroom.
Nico-kun, I'm going to be busy after school.
Himitsu said, as if apologizing. Got it then, see you tonight?
See you tonight.
She smiled, bidding me farewell. ... I was sitting in the classroom thinking about Himitsu, about the way she was behaving after I learned the truth about her father, about the way she should have been behaving in my opinion, except that I wasn't even sure what I wanted. There was one thing I knew. I was fed up both with her excuses and pleas for forgiveness. If I were to really think about it, what was she guilty of? Of her father asking her to keep an eye on me? Of the fact that out of goodness of her heart and naivety, she had been telling him everything about her life, including us, me? Of not going and telling me as soon as she received that request? It was probably the latter, the only thing that she responsible for directly. Children shouldn't pay for their parents' sins. I knew that as well as anyone. Classes finished pretty quickly, or at least it felt like they did. Even faster than usual, as I wasn't constantly glancing at the clock, counting the minutes, being occupied with my thoughts. However, there was still a lot of time left before evening. I slowly packed up my bag, went downstairs, changed my shoes, and walked outside, where Michael approached me. Michael. He's tough guy to announce. Want to take a walk? Alright. I don't know, I hear Michael's voice like that. I'm sorry, guys. We walked out out the school gates and headed for my home, although it was clearly out of Michael's way. That meant he wanted to talk about something that wasn't meant to be heard by anyone else. Go ahead, don't keep me waiting. Hey, that's rude, actually. Keeping up the same pace, Michael said. What have you decided about Catherine? What about her? Nick, I'm serious. So am I. I think I said everything clearly last time. Then I did understand you. That's fine, unfortunate. And still, I stopped and sighed heavily. To be frank, the situation with Himitsu was much more important to me now. But then, why couldn't I give him a straight answer? Like, Misha, you can have my Katya. May you live in love and harmony. Look, I'm grateful for your honesty, but my opinion doesn't matter here. It's important to me. In that case, I can only repeat what I told you earlier. It's none of my business. Excuse me. By trying to deny the obvious, you're letting me know how you really feel. I am not. He was starting to drive me mad. I am not trying to deny anything. Since when did you become a psychologist? If you really need Catherine, go and tell her yourself. She appreciates the courage, I guarantee you that. Perhaps I will. Yeah, would you please? I said sarcastically and walked away. Yeah, and he even have friends, like fuck. Those type of people should have nobody, no parents, no friends, no relationships, no job, nothing. They should not even exist. Because they are a threat to society. He can fucking take a gun or knife and go fucking kill children in kindergarten or something. I'm pretty damn serious, that's Nico-kun. However, Michael kept following me. Your house is in the other direction. I just want to do everything right. I know I shouldn't try and cut in front of you. The victor is always right, but it felt as if I were pushing him toward Catherine. Even if I didn't want that, that's how my words sounded. You know what? Do whatever you want. Seriously, I don't care, because either way the result depends on neither you nor me. And I don't even know or what to know or want to imagine what's going on inside her head. Besides, I can see that you really have a crush on her. I've never seen you so anxious. I smirked. I think you can understand how I feel. I could before. What changed then? What changed? Everything did. It's quite logical that after many years of living together, some people begin to wonder how they even managed to fall in love with the other person in the first place. Catherine and I hadn't been married, but the analogy was still appropriate. Okay, I won't bother you any longer. He reached out and I shook his hand a bit too firmly, then watched him for some time as he walked away. A train station appeared from behind the corner, and suddenly I felt extremely depressed by the thought that I had to sit in the house all alone until evening just waiting for Himitsu, pretending that everything was alright. And then I would have dinner with a fake smile on my face, speak meaningless words into the air, expecting equally meaningless answers. After hesitating a minute, I walked confidently towards the station. Many people like to pointlessly ride trains. Okay, finally we have a new screen. Wow. If you look closer, you'll notice that every one of them has their own reason why. Yet this unique railway romance is the same for everybody. Damn, there is even something more like 3D. And it's not repeatable. I mean, it is repeatable, but it's... Damn, it looks nice. The feeling of an endless road, fellow riders you know nothing about, the absence of purpose, and more importantly, the absence of the need for one, new landscapes, new cities with old houses where different people live. I was more fond of walking, sometimes in unfamiliar places, but to be in those places you need to reach them first. It's not always possible to do so on foot, as your immediate surroundings have been thoroughly explored already. Nevertheless, this time I got off at familiar stop, the merchant district on the waterfront near the port. Why there exactly? I guess because this place had given me some hope. This was where I had met Ichinose, who knew at least something about the mysteries of my past and the dangers of the present. I think we never had the screen also, yeah? Damn, that's nice. Was I really hoping to find the answers to the questions about my future amongst the tiny stores and fish smell? Merchants of all kinds were happily heading to and fro on the causeway, while others were soliciting customers to enter their shops. Right in the middle of the road, children were playing with a ball, paying no attention to the shouts and threats of the local old ladies. The cacophony of ship sirens and the roar of turbines could be heard coming from the port. Perhaps that was exactly the reason why I came there, to get a taste of life that was totally unfamiliar to me, fill my lungs with salty sea air, and feel the sting of the cold winter's wind. To be among people without being a part of the crowd, to observe their daily lives. It seemed to me that few people would find this interesting. Why would you want to watch others' boring lives when you had enough problems of your own? Was that woman selling fish a celebrity? Or was that hunched old man pushing an empty trolley a famous athlete? It was unlikely that any of these children would become legendary football players. Let me give you an example, guys, very quickly. I was walking down the street and I'm seeing the yellow nice house. In the front of me was a blue, almost greenish water. Inside of the water I saw small tiny golden fishes lurking around and trying to snatch tiny pieces of bread that some other girl on the other side of the bridge threw at them. The wind was strong, but the sun was bright. The guy on the left with orange hair was bored, and my heart had a desire to touch Catherine's boobs like that. Is there any difference? I think I can become the same guy who can write the story. Like, exactly. Maybe I'll write it even better. Maybe I'll write it even better. Yeah, author is just it's ridiculous. I have no words, guys. Seriously, I'm really anticipated and I'm super curious how this fucking game is gonna end. I'm so curious you cannot even imagine. And I have no clue how it's gonna end. I heard, there was some spoilers, but not that many spoilers, but I had a huge spoiler. There is at least 6 endings with one girl, which means the other girl is also having different endings. Probably maybe Catherine has 2 or 4 or 10 endings, I don't know. So let's go. I knew all that, yet I seem to envy their simple pleasures and, in a way, more peaceful lives. Yeah, I could hardly picture myself waking up at first light every day to pick up another batch of fresh fish at the port to sell later. You mean you cannot become a fisherman? Carry a dozen kilograms back and forth and handle some other undoubtedly important things until evening? Bro, that's called adult life. You have to do it no matter what, in order to survive, to feed your family. But of course, hopefully you will never have family. I'll make it happen. Don't worry, Nico-kun. You can trust me. But I was somehow confident that none of them were experiencing any of my problems, the love, the spying, and this fascinating introspection. And I was envious of them, with an admiring rather than hateful envy. But it didn't make me feel any better. The golden was a girl, right? The KGB girl. Oh, what a coincidence! I didn't expect to see you here. Somebody called out to me as I sat on the bench. There was something wrong with the voice, although it sounded familiar. Yes, right, it spoke Russian, exactly. Yes, it's this beach. Beach. Not bitch, but beach. After a moment, Irina Matsovaya appeared from out of the crowd. I doubt this is coincidence, although I have to admit I am surprised. There was no fear, we were in public place, and Irina seemed to have come just to talk. Surprised I'm talking to you just like this in the middle of the day? Well, yeah, sure. Don't worry, nobody has been following you. She sat down next to me and calmly looked around. Except me. On the other hand, she could know what I had met with Ichinoza here, which wouldn't be the best state of affairs. Well, then you must be doing a better job than the corporation. You must be asking yourself how much we know by now, right? Well, we are aware of the fact that you went to the village to see Ito Ryunosuke's parents and returned suspiciously early. You didn't even stop by for tea. Look her smile. Look her, that bitch is like, look how she's fucking smiling. Like, that's print screen. She smirked, but her eyes remained cold and emotionless, piercing. It seemed that she saw no more of a human in me than Dr. Mengele did in his patients. Dr. Mengele, you mean the fucking Nazi doctor from the World War II? In Oswiecim? In Birkenau? Wow. Wow. If you know everything already, what's this conversation for? You know, I need to drink water after such a shit. Okay, guys. Woo. Yeah, this game is weird. Okay, let's go. If you know everything already, what's this conversation for? At least it seemed that she was unaware of my meetings with Ichinose. We have a business offer for you. And I won't be able to reject? It's also up to you, but you need to consider the possible consequences. So we're asking you to collect as much information about Ito as possible. Documents, papers, any valuable data in any form. Perhaps you might overhear something. In return, we will ensure your protection and if needed, can even take you to the USSR. Sorry, but I'm not signing up to be a spy. Nikolai, you've been in the game ever since you came to Japan with your parents. Don't matter if you wanted to it or not. You know the saying, there are no former Chekists? Chekist is an informal name of security officers in the USSR. But I'm not even a former. We can give you some time to think about our offer. Why? To choose between a firing squad and hanging? I grinned sadly. Why the fatalism? Because I ground my teeth and frowned. I could just strangle her right there, right now, go to Japanese prison and be saved there from all this bloody spies and counter spies. In return, I'd like some answers. Ask. Why do you even think I might be able to find anything at all? I doubt Ryusoki-san keeps important documents where I could see them. That's what you're going to find out. What exactly should I look for? Any information that might seem interesting. If I could tell you more, I would. But unfortunately, Nikolai, I don't know any details. I get it. You lose nothing by risking me. Do you think it would be so easy for him to get rid of you after all these years? Which brings me to my second question. You must know that he has a daughter, and we know each other for a lifetime. Is Himitsu somehow involved in all this? It was the first time during the whole conversation Irina's expression grew serious. We don't know anything about that. But you can't exclude the possibility. With matters as serious as this, I can't exclude the possibility that even Ito's cat might be involved. How did she even know that they had a cat? Are you sure this is an appropriate time for jokes? I'm not joking, Nikolai. So what have you decided? What have I decided? If I were to agree, I would be doing the same thing that Himitsu had done to me. I guess it would be best to tell her everything as soon as possible. However, by doing so, I would drag her even deeper into all of this. I'd be subjecting her to real danger. At the moment, Himitsu was mostly just her father's tool, but if I agreed to the offer, she might also become of interest to the KGB. But on the other hand, if I were to find something, it would be the first time I'd have my hands on something valuable. In my importance as the eyes of the KGB and Japanese intelligence was rise dramatically. I'm sorry, I'm like drinking, guys, the mineral water. It was probably too early to say that I could try changing the rules in my favor, but in the end I could ensure not only my safety but also Himitsu's. I'm ready to try, but I can't guarantee any results. I hope you realize that. Of course. Irina's lips stretched into a smile so fake that it made me shudder. What's important is that you do your best. But if it doesn't work out, let's not think about the worst in advance. I wanted to say that wasn't an answer, but I stopped myself. Wait, once again, I wanted to say that wasn't an answer. I wanted to say that wasn't an answer. Oh my god. That's the worst English I've ever seen in my life. Would whatever it was that might I hear make me feel better? Besides, it was foolish to expect she'd tell the truth. We will kill you if you don't manage. What, like that? No. Your words aren't exactly encouraging. I just want to understand how serious the situation is. I do, better than anyone. Attaboy! See you in a week, same place, same time. She stood up, gave me another fake smile as a farewell and disappeared into the crowd. Yeah, today's walk sure turned out to be productive. Wow. I returned home a bit earlier than expected before dinner and thus had some time before Himitsu's arrival. That conversation with Irina on the waterfront left a bad aftertaste. She made me an offer I quite literally couldn't refuse. I wasn't even worried about myself, as it couldn't get worse for me anyway. Except maybe that I just taken a few more steps toward a miserable end. Why did I even ask about Himitsu? They could use her. They could have done so before too, probably, but for whatever reason decided not to. The front door opened with the same sound as usual. It wasn't slow or fast, the way she alone could, while I would regularly slam it without even meaning to, just paying no attention. Niko-kun? Himitsu called from the hall. I'm here. She entered the kitchen, gave me a somehow detached look, and started taking groceries out of the bag. How are you? Fine. Himitsu replied briefly, her attention focused on cooking. I mean, how's everything with... For the life of me, I couldn't recall what she was going to do after class. With this... School festival. Yeah, right, school festival. Haha. yeah, this one, I already forgot. How's it going? What you were doing? How? Cafe? Or no, not cafe, chess? Fine. She replied in the same dry tone. It was weird, she didn't seem to be particularly upset in the afternoon. You won't even ask me how my day went? Is there a point? I don't know, you usually ask. And you usually don't reply or come up with excuses. I had no return, as I wasn't ready to tell her about Irina's offer. Would you say I'm wrong? Well, I wouldn't be so harsh. What else do you expect, Niko-kun? Himitsu stopped peeling potatoes and finally looked at me. You accuse me of something I didn't even do, but you hide things all the time yourself. You'll lie to me. Despite the contents of her words, her tone was relatively calm. I was mostly hurt by the fact that Himitsu had never accused me of telling lies directly before, at least like this. I don't lie to you. I'm not accusing you of anything. Yeah, right? She sarcastically flung her arms up in the air and returned to peeling potatoes, cutting a solid half of a tuber with each motion, like, Are you really trying to deceive me or just pitying me? Pitying me. Himitsu switched from Russian to Japanese, something that didn't happen to her often when we were alone. Do you think it's easy for me? Do you think I asked my father to put me in a situation like this? And how now it turns out that you don't trust me and you even seem to have reasons for that? Niko-kun, think about my feelings. You're accusing me of something that isn't even my fault. Not out loud maybe, but you think it. I didn't want things to turn out like this and I can't fix them. Do you understand? I was expecting her to start crying, but she continued in a firm and confident tone. Tell me honestly, what's going on? What do you mean? I asked, surprised. You know what? I know you've been hiding something from me. I know that in different circumstances you wouldn't have told me anything at all. Niko-kun, I'm not a little girl anymore. You don't need to protect me. I love you and I want to be with you in happiness and sorrow. There could be no doubt that she was speaking sincerely, and I felt pained and disgusted by the fact that I hadn't told her about the meeting with Irina and many other things. But on the other hand, I just couldn't. I physically wasn't able to, my mouth wouldn't let me do it, all the words were getting stuck in my throat. Maybe the author will gonna give me a choice? Like, at least one serious choice, because before all those choices, go to Catherine or stay home, like, it doesn't make any sense. You're still gonna meet Catherine. It's not that you will tell or not. This is like one of those things. Okay, let's see, maybe author gonna grant us this permission. Maybe I really was too protective of Himitsu, but it was all of her own good. And how would it sound? I was asked to spy on her father and was considering if I should agree. Yes, just tell her everything. I've already told you everything I know, I replied, quietly lowering my eyes. Oh, that's it then? Himitsu said coldly and grabbed a plate suddenly. Oh, let's go. Now that's a good preview. Now this is a preview, my friend. That's it? She threw it to the floor, immediately grabbing another one. Oh, nice, she breaking the plates. Thank God I meet like a dog from plastic ones. No, that's what you talk about, laughing monster? Dang, glass shards scattered all over the place. Why did I ever think you were trying to protect me from something? Another plate broke into pieces like bam, bam, bam. Maybe you just take me for an idiot and don't want me on your way. And another one, like, who fuck? Sunshine, that's another. Sunshine. No, that's how he say, like, sunshine, that's enough already, I'm crying. I said in Impotently. Yes, you fucking impotent. My whole body seemed to turn to jelly. I couldn't even find the energy to stand up. That's all you can say? There were no plates left, and Himitsu was standing briefly, having looking at me with my eyes full of... No, there is a pan. There is a glass. There is a windows. Go outside. There is the flower pots. You can break everything. Please break his life. Himitsu was standing, breathing, having looked at me with eyes of full resentment. I really don't blame... blame you for your father, and I reacted like this is a first. Well, because it was too sudden. And how do you think I felt? He's my father! Sorry, I babbled like a girl. I was disgusted by my sudden indecisiveness and softness. I see you don't trust me. Oh my gosh. She took a few steps towards me, but in the end sunk heavily into a chair and turned away. I can't keep this up any longer, Nico-kun. Your parents, this corporation, my father, Katya-chan. I just want to be with you, but if you don't trust me, if you don't need me... Himitsu, wait, calm down, I need you. No, Himitsu, calm down, I need you. In that case, it's pity you do everything possible to prove the opposite. I stood up and was about to approach her, but Himitsu jumped away immediately. I should go. I hope you'll be able to handle dinner by yourself. But wait, I need to be alone. Yes, that's it. Yes, we got rid of Katya-chan, we got rid of Himitsu, that's it. We're gonna be completely alone. Yes, that's what exactly I want. Now he has no friends too. Oh, he has Kuyosoki. Okay, Kuyosoki. That fat bastard. Ugh, we're gonna get rid of him too. I decided not to stop her. That's good. You're a fucking maggot. You're fucking nobody, Nico-kun. You're a fucking bitch. Perhaps that was for the better. Yes, right now you can call Kuyosoki to your house and have fun together playing Nintendo. Yes, if nothing was too tie us together, she'd lose all value in the eyes of Japanese intelligence and the KGB. The next time I would tell Irina that I wasn't going to spy on anyone, and let the responsibility for my own decisions lie on my shoulders only... Only? I was twisting and turning in my bed, trying to fall asleep to no avail. I was so afraid of had finally come to pass. Himitsu finally broke down. And not even because of my attitude toward her, but rather due to my clumsy attempts to protect her. So stupid. So silly and funny, like in a bad tragic comedy. While I was running back and forth between her and Catherine, not giving a damn about her feelings, everything was normal. What did I do wrong in the end? Exactly, what did I do wrong in the end? Wow. I could feel a lump in my throat. All my memories of Himitsu from my childhood days till the most recent times passing before my eyes. I felt ashamed to lie to her, but now more than ever I had confidence in my decision. Let her resent me, stop talking to me, become distant and forget me. That would be for her own good. Okay, the next morning, okay. I'm not gonna stop here, guys. I know we stopped in the morning, but no, it's too short. Like, it's gonna be a million episodes if I'm gonna stop here. September 22nd. I have no words. I just have no words. Are you okay? Has always seemed a weird and unnatural question to me. Especially in American movies, when a character might get his arm ripped off and his partner, with an expression of genuine concern on his face, would wonder whether that character was doing okay. Couldn't be better, goddammit! But thinking about it, what does okay mean in our lives anyway? We can only define it relatively. For instance, if I had my arm ripped off, it at least wouldn't be my head, so compared to the worst possible situation, I'd be relatively okay. Yesterday I lost Himitsu, but at least I was still alive. Yeah. And I hope very soon you're gonna lose everything. You're gonna lose your house, you're gonna lose your money, so you won't have anything left. So in comparison with the worst situation, I was doing okay. Although, who needs an okay like this? Yeah, who pays bills, for example? Who like fucking, maintain, the life, his life? I had fallen asleep pretty late, around 4 in the morning, but I was woken up by the usual sounds of cooking in the kitchen. Was Kimitsu cooking breakfast after everything that happened the day before? I quickly... GPT... I quickly... Wow. GPT dressed and ran out of my room, but the person standing on the stove was... Kuyosoki! Oh my fucking god. Good morning, I was about to wake you up. I don't know which preview is better. Maybe we can connect them connect them together somehow. I don't know, that's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna probably connect them. Good morning, I was about to wake you up. How do you get in here? I asked gloomily and leaned heavily against the doorframe. Come on now, is that how you're going to start such a wonderful day? It certainly wasn't wonderful for me, and Catherine's presence didn't change that in the slightest. How did you get in? I've been to your place more than once, remember? Nothing has changed since then. Indeed, sneaking into the garden from the street wasn't difficult, and neither was opening the door to the kitchen if one knew how to. Katya did. Maybe I shouldn't have been worried about burglars, but I had nothing valuable in the house, and it didn't look very interesting from outside. What if I call police? Go ahead. Would be a good idea after yesterday's slaughter. She smirked, stirring something in the pan. What slaughter? I asked, genuinely surprised. Don't worry, I've already cleaned away the shards. It's just what I suppose... It's just... What are we supposed to eat of now? Well, there is no getting out of this. I don't want to talk about it. Of course you don't. She smirked slyly. By the way, I didn't know you could cook. I tried to change the subject. Just because I never cooked before? Well, naturally. Well, I couldn't, but I learned how to over the past year. When you're on your own for a while, even pizza gets dull. Perhaps I wouldn't learn how to cook as well if Himitsu weren't allowed all the time. So you came, broke into my house, even at ungodly hours, solely to show off your cooking skills? Well, we've been know each other for a while. I know you're having a hard time. As if you care. Of course I do. We're friends, aren't we? Katya seemed sincere, but I still couldn't believe her words, so I decided to change the subject a bit. What if Himitsu came now? Will she? Catherine smiled apacquely. Apacquely? Oh my god, what the fuck does that mean? Fucking shit, apacquely. What the fuck is that? Apacquely. Apacquely, cloudy, dense, muddy, clouded. Good word. What is this about, yeah? Whatever. I didn't want to talk about this, especially with her, so I just sat silently and waited. The meal I eventually received, something resembling a stew, tasted pretty good and felt much more Western than what I was used to eat. Twice unnecessary word, misspelled, beautiful. But you couldn't make this sort of thing in half an hour. When exactly had Catherine arrived? It's good, I said, trying to make it sound as if I were merely being polite. Not any worse than Himitsu's. Why are you starting this all over again? What's wrong with that, I said. Nothing. You don't want to talk about her? I don't, I snarled. What, trouble in paradise? You two had a fight? Honestly, it's none of your business. Oh my god, every single thing. To every single person in his fucking life he says that. I'm pretty sure he needs some treatment for sure, like rehab or some shit. That's what alcohol do with you kids. Do not ever drink. Only during your birthday, okay? Birthday, some holidays, okay, I allow you, but don't. I looked at Katya and felt nothing. Yes, I was happy for the tasty breakfast and the fact that she had come over, but on the other hand, I wouldn't feel just as comfortable alone. Well, as you wish, you don't need to tell me, but I will find out anyway. From your mom and her spy network? Catherine pulled a long face and stared at her plate. It doesn't feel nice when somebody hits your sore spot, does it? Why do you think it's a sore spot for me? I think we already discussed it and figured everything out. After the revealed truth about Himitsu's father and the KGB's ultimatum, the whole situation with her mom seemed, if not a stupid misunderstanding, then merely a trifle. Then I understand why you're here even less, and I don't tell me that you just worried about me for God's sake. Fine, I won't. But what if that's true? I gave Katya a look from under my brows. She looked and behaved absolutely normal, maybe a little bit more polite, which in her case mostly meant less sarcastic. If that's true, thank you. You don't sound sincere. Don't know what to tell you. I wondered what would happen if Kimitsu actually came. Look, thank you for the breakfast and... You're kicking me out? She interrupted me flatly. I just need to get ready for school. I can help. I'll handle it. Okay, I'll do the dishes. No need, leave them. Don't you think it's at the very least rude to kick me out after being stuck at the stove for 2 goddamn hours? Catherine frowned and finally looked like herself. Do what you want. I went to the bathroom to brush my teeth and wash my face. Then I changed into my school uniform and turned to the kitchen. Catherine was sitting in her old seat looking out into the garden with a bored expression on her face. The dirty dishes were where I had left them. Did you want to do the dishes? And you said I didn't need to. I see. Shall we go? She rose gracefully from her chair and walked to the hallway. I was definitely afraid that Himitsu would see us together. Oh my god! Forget him! God! I was afraid of that. I was afraid of him, her, she, is, it. What the fuck? Bro, just go fucking kill yourself. Go to that roof and jump out, please. She obviously wasn't going to leave alone. Looking for something? Catherine asked snidely, seeing my cautiously look around. The meaning of life. Let's go already. I couldn't even remember the last time I walked to school like this. She had stayed at my place overnight before when my parents weren't home, but it only happened once or twice. Bring back memories? What does? All this? All this? Fuck, her face. Katya made a pirouette, her skirt dancing alone flirtatiously. The fuck is this words? Although you mustn't falling out of habit. Apparently so. I replied briefly in order to avoid continuing this conversation and sinking deeper into the past. Not much has changed here over the years. Catherine was constantly looking around. Was it supposed to? It's only been... what? A year and a half. I finished with a bit of strain. In our times, everything changes at the speed of thought, you know? Why are you doing this? I just thought it'd sound nice. No, I mean, why did you come in the morning and cook breakfast? I can't believe it's just because you care about me. I think you need something from me. What could I possibly need from you? Catherine stopped and looked me in the eyes with a cute smile on her face. I don't know. I don't want to play these games. Well, don't then. Myself, I find them very funny. She immediately turned around and walked a couple steps ahead of me. So you're not even going to try and deny it, are you? As nasty as it felt to acknowledge it, this punitive honesty was appealing to me, even a bit arousing. Deny what? Catherine said without turning around. We approached the school and I noticed Michael in the distance. So did Katya. Did you know that Michael likes me? Yes, let's go do threesome, another threesome. I already had, what? M? Yeah, like male, female. Oh, sorry, no, he had fail. Yes, he had fail. Female, male, female. And now he's gonna have male, female, male. Yeah, perfect. She asked seemingly casually. What? I think he and I would find at least a couple things to talk about. How do you know? Did he? No, we haven't even talked yet. It's just easy to see. I noticed it right away. Feminine intuition. Katya added flirtatiously. Fuck, can you fucking stop and erase this word? This word doesn't exist. I see. My voice sounded way too unhappy and deep inside I scolded myself for that. So I'm thinking what to do with that. What do you think? I don't know. What? You aren't interested at all? Perhaps you could give me a piece of friendly advice? It's none of my business. Again, none of his business. Isn't it? She gave me a sly smile and approached a group of girls I didn't know. So she did have friends, or at least acquaintances. I didn't know whether Michael noticed us or not, but I had to desire to talk to him, so I slowed down, waiting until he entered the school building. Catherine showed up in the classroom right before the bell and sat down behind her desk, paying no attention to me. What did she want from me in the end? What was with that performance? Maybe it was some strange sort of revenge? It was hard for me to think about that in the moment, especially with my fight with Himitsu and the whole spy business as the backdrop. Catherine definitely had no intention of leaving me alone, which was beginning to irritate me. God, how quickly can a man's feelings change? Only a couple weeks ago I could only dream about spending this much time with her. And now? Now I would rather she left me alone, although I was afraid to admit that even to myself, coming up with stupid excuses like I have more important things to deal with now, blah blah blah. And again, chilling in the class. During the break, Michael approached me, his look implying we were going to have a serious conversation. Hi, have you got a minute? For you always. I tried to preemptively shield myself with sarcasm. I really don't want to start it over again, but you leave me no choice. Today you and Catherine came to school together. So he noticed us back then. Yeah, so what? Did you just happen to meet on the way, or what? Tell me. You know what I mean. He inverted his eyes for a moment, but then looked at me again with the same confidence, and boom! Here we're gonna stop, guys. Thank you very much for watching until the end. Please join the channel, subscribe on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. In the description will be playlist with this game. Thank you very much, and see you next episode.